According to over 10,000 people in a deep level of hypnosis, the new earth is coming. The new earth is emerging right now, and there's certain things we are doing that is going to either tether us to a new level of consciousness, to a new way of existing and relating to each other, and there are certain things we do that will keep us on what is called the 3D plane of reality, which is all about old negativity, separation, the fear, the anger in the media. And what happens is if we don't look at this, if we don't elevate our vibration, then we stay repeating old cycles of the 3D. It is said that after this life, if we don't learn these lessons, what ends up happening is we play out whatever we didn't learn, whatever lesson we didn't get, we play it out on another 3D level of existence, which may be a different version of Earth or even a different planet altogether where the 3D level of consciousness is still being taught. You can almost think of it like different lessons or different grades or classes you may go to. If you don't pass one class, you repeat it. And what is happening right now is what is called a graduation from the third dimensional state of consciousness into the fifth dimensional state of consciousness. And in this video, I want to show you exactly what you can do and how you can be and what you can become aware of to detach from the separation consciousness, the fear, the anger, the being fast asleep energy that a lot of the planet is in, unfortunately, how you can let that go and then embody a fifth dimensional level of consciousness. One where you have a higher vibration, where you know more about who you are, where you are on the timeline you choose to be on, and where you can really fulfill your life purpose of why you came here. Because here's the thing, you came here to participate in the shift. 10,000 people from all over the world who did not know each other in a state of consciousness called the somnambulistic state of consciousness, which is in between sleep and awake, have said that we came here to be a part of the shift, whether we're aware of it or not. And there's certain things we could do and stop doing to allow ourselves to shift into this higher level of consciousness. So in this video, I want to share with you how you can make that shift into a 5D level of consciousness, what the information is that has come through Dolores Cannon's QHHT technique through 10,000 plus people all over the world, of which did not know each other. Why is there consistent information coming through talking about this? And how can we stop repeating the old cycles of 3D? The old cycles that keep us locked into a lower level of consciousness, that keep us trapped in old ways of being. Now, one of the things that happens in this reality that we're in, and one of the reasons that it makes it so hard to be here on Earth, is that this is one of the few places that souls come where we forget who we are to then remember who we are. So what it is said through the Dolores Cannon materials, and also if you look at many other levels of teaching, like the Law of One, Bashar, even Abraham Hicks and different esoteric information there, is that we are eternal spiritual beings having temporary human experiences. And when we come here to Earth, we forget who we are because in a way, it's like a game. It's like we must forget that to have a real experience. Because if we knew that it was just, in a way, a form of game, a form of an experience, and we knew at a higher level who we were and we remembered that, we may not take it as seriously. But it is said in the Dolores Cannon material that there are other reality systems we may incarnate into where we retain our memory, where we know we are eternal spiritual beings, where maybe when you're born, you have parents that you know you've had many past life connections to. But here we forget all of this. And one of the reasons we forget all this is because there's free will on Earth. Now let's talk about the new Earth for a second and why many of us may be here. And I believe if you're here watching this video right now, you may know this at a deep level, but may have forgotten. What it is said is that back in the early 1900s, when our planet was experimenting with nuclear bombs, what was happening is that was sending a ripple throughout the universe, because one of the things here is we have free will to do what we want as a collective consciousness. And part of that is that we could, if we wanted to, destroy ourselves. However, when nuclear bombs go off, what it was said is that as these bombs go off, and as we started experimenting with it, it sends a ripple throughout the universe. And as the ripple goes throughout the universe, it affects not just our reality system, but it affects also other reality systems. And what it is said is that it's not allowed for us to do that to where it affects other reality systems. That's when there can be intervention that comes in. So in a way, what it is said through 10,000 plus people who've been through these different hypnosis sessions is that I heard the call. I heard the call. And that call was put out from Mother Earth herself, or from this reality that said, I need help. I'm going to, a feeling of Earth is going to destroy itself with the current timeline it is on. And then what happens is millions and even billions of souls from all over different reality systems heard this and felt a connection to Earth, because maybe of past life connections, maybe other reasons. And what it is said is that many people knew it was going to be hard to come here, to forget who you are, to remember who you are, to elevate your level of consciousness and to raise your vibration so that you could help steer the planet towards the new Earth instead of the old 3D level of consciousness. And that it is a very exciting time to be alive. There was this one session I remember reading in QHHT, and there's a couple books that I really liked. One of them is The Convoluted Universe, which is all about how reality works and different information coming through that. These are all, by the way, transcriptions of people in deep levels of hypnosis. It's not Dolores Cannon saying it. About how reality works. The other book, The Three Wave of Volunteers, talks about how there were different waves of souls coming to the planet. Some of them are in their 60s and 70s right now. Well, that was one of the first waves of volunteers to participate in the shift. And they kind of pre-paved the way for waking up, which made it easier for the second wave to come through. And the second wave to come through are in their 40s now. And then the third wave, and certain different waves had different intentions in some ways. There are people that came here just to hold a frequency, to hold an energy that impacts reality. Just by going to the grocery store or something, like there's an energy that is emitted that influences other people. And the third wave, those are people in their 20s and 30s, and even newer than that. It's like the kids getting that are being born are just so much more evolved and so much more activated and ready for this new Earth. They literally came here to embody it. And these different waves of energy, these different people, these different souls that have come here for this time right now to participate in this shift. Now, what it is said in these books that I find interesting is that there were some people, there was questions that Dolores was asking, someone that was in this deep level of hypnosis. Why is it that some souls come here and experience even sometimes great amount of pain, and maybe even be born in like a third world country? Because that doesn't make sense to understanding the divine. Why would someone go through that level of pain? And there was this image that was shown, this explanation through someone, that what happens is it showed that, in a way, imagine there's Earth, and imagine that there's this kind of this, not gate, this is more of a metaphor than anything, but imagine there was a gate outside of Earth, and it was like this desire to come in to be born into Earth. And imagine that there's somebody that's saying, okay, these are the different probable timelines for you to come in as a soul in this third world country with all of this pain and all of this stuff, and you may not even live that long. And imagine a soul saying, you know what, I don't even care. I just want to say I was here during this time on the planet. I just want to say I was here even if it was for this amount of time with the probable timelines of being born in this type of way. Now I share that because that kind of depicts the energy of why it's an exciting time to be alive right now. What it is said through the Dolores Cannon material, the Law of One, Bashar, all of this, these different sources, is that we came here to be a part of this shift into a higher level of consciousness. We came here because we are literally taking what the old reality was and we are shifting its frequency into a higher state of consciousness where there's more love, there's more connection, there's more awareness and understanding, there's more unity consciousness, and there's less separation, the old negativity. That's all the old. As you look out into the world and you see the media and you see the fear, there's a reason 99.9% of all the media that you've ever seen is just completely negative. Have you ever watched the news and seen really anything positive at all? It's all around fear. It's all around separation. It's trying to keep people into a certain level of consciousness. That's the old paradigm. That's the old reality. And when people get energetically feeding it and they're mad and they're triggered by it, they're feeding the old reality. And what it is said is that we have the potential to shift into a higher level of consciousness in this life, and we are taking our bodies, the earth with us into a higher frequency. Now, what it is said is that these it's called the 3D to 5D earth split. There are different information out there that kind of talks about it a little bit different. There's 3D to 4D, 3D to 5D. Earth split is about the overlaying of two realities that are happening right now, where you could be in one frequency and experience a certain reality, but if in the lower frequency of the 3D earth, you experience different people, you experience different kinds of relationship to the media and all of these things. So there's a couple tips and a couple things we can remember so that we don't stay tethered to the old 3D reality. And that is that right now, there's an overlay of both. When we look around, we can see a little bit of both. And depending on our frequency is which one we are actually tuned to. So if we are tuned to that of the fear, of the anger, of the triggers, we will experience more of that. But if we observe it, one of the biggest keys here is to observe it and to understand it's just part of the old system. And then as the triggers come up, you feel it and you heal it and you let it go. And to start focusing your direction in what you prefer to experience in your life. One of the best ways to elevate your frequency is to focus on what you are passionate about. Because what you are passionate about puts you into a certain frequency, certain energy that impacts everybody that you're around, whether you realize it or not. And right now, on the planet, there are these different realities we can perceive of based on our energy. It's funny, my mom called me the other day, and I was walking around getting some steps in for the day, and I just called my mom. She says, "Hey, hon, just want to make sure everything's okay. I've been seeing a lot of these videos and watching a lot of videos about the 3 to 5D earth split that's happening right now. I wanted to make sure you were still in my reality." And she was kind of joking around, but also kind of serious because she's known about this information for years, since 2012 when I went through my awakening. I've known about this for a very long time since I've been reading those books. And it's been a very gradual process as time goes on, there are certain people that have fallen out of my life, and there are certain people that have come into my life as a reflection of my own energy. Which gets tricky because people are, you can look through this glass window in a way. That's the way Bashar talks about it. It's almost like you're looking through a glass wall. You can still see the old realities, but are you going to engage with it? Are you going to get lost in it? Now realize from a deeper point of view as well what it talks about in the Dolores Cannon material. Listen to this. It says, apparently when we enter the earth existence, the third dimensional reality, we exist with a facade of actors playing various roles. For some, it is an adventure of the experience, the journey. For the others, it is an entrapment in an illusion that takes on the qualities of reality. In an interesting way, when we look at reality and we can see that yes, there's this control system that's been on earth for a long time. There's the media, which is most of it's all owned by the same one or two corporations, keeps people separated, keeps people in fear, in anger, in lower levels of consciousness, has them priming themselves and believing that there's these separate, that we all need to be angry with each other, that we all need to be fighting. They're also playing a role. They just maybe don't remember. But it's important to remember this. We all came here and have a certain role in the new earth. And for many people watching this video right now, I believe your role was to participate in the shift, to participate in elevating your frequency. The more you elevate your vibration, the more you experience a reality that is equal to that new level of vibration, that new energy. And this all has to do with the choices that you are making and being able to observe and to process the past energy that is stored inside of your body. And you do this by becoming aware of it, feeling it and healing it, and then making a new choice about who you are and following your passion. And the more you do that, the more you elevate your frequency, the more you shift to the new earth. Now, 2027, one thing that it's talked about, I've seen it in a show called Cosmic Disclosure. It involves that of whistleblowers. I've seen this in this phrase that mentioned a few times in different sources. That the benchmark is we're going through the splitting of these different realities right now. And the way that Bashar talks about it is that it's almost like we're on train tracks. And the train tracks are going parallel to each other like this. And as time goes on, they're going more and more apart. And what happens is it's very important for us to be on the timeline we want to be on, because for a while we can shift through these different timelines. But as time goes on, they go further and further apart to where it's very important you choose the timeline you really prefer. Because connected to that timeline are people that resonate with the real you. Connected to that timeline are you living in your passion, you living in your purpose. And it all has to do with your choices you are making. So with this, if you haven't done this yet, and you want a meditation that will help you elevate your vibration to the next level, and also calibrate your vibration so you learn more about yourself and what you can do to elevate your vibration, then go to the link, I'll link below, called whatsmyvibration.com. Calibrate your vibration, get a meditation for elevating it to the next level. And understand that this whole process is about the choices you are making, the energy you are embodying, and that now is a very exciting time to be alive. It's a very exciting time to wake up. And if you're watching this video, then you are waking up right now. You can only perceive that which you are the vibration of. And if you want to learn more about this, I have another video I made that talks more about the law of one and other aspects of this, of what you can do to really shift your life into this new earth. What is coming? It's a timeline shift of what 10,000 plus people in this deep level of hypnosis has said about the timeline shift that is coming up. If you want to check out that video, you can check it out right here.